Hello, everybody! Hear ye, hear ye. We are here today to find out what it takes to become the best cheesemonger in the land at noon on Tuesday today. I'm your host, Gina. I'm the cheese whiz at Venissimo Cheese, and I have with me the best cheesemonger in the land, Jessica Lawrence, with us today. A round of applause for Jessica. Welcome. I'm going to start with an auspicious date, and you tell me if you know what this date is. July 22nd, 2009.
Is that when I started?
It's when you started, Jess. It's like the best day of Venissimo's life. This day was a really, really good day, Jess. Yes, July 22nd, 2009. Jessica came into our little shop in Mission Hills and said she wanted to become a cheesemonger. And if I can say, I guess the analogy I'll think is she came in sweet, beautiful, wonderful Jessica, and she's turned into a tiger. And it's really, really great. So tell us, Jess, just a little bit just about your things and what made you come in that day and get you started with cheese.
Well, I was working, and I still work at SDSU, San Diego State Research Center, and the project that I was on was coming to an end. So what happens there is you'll get picked up on new projects. They usually last a couple years. And the one I was currently on was cutting my hours, and I had stopped in Venissimo maybe a dozen times. Yeah. I was a customer. The person I was dating at the time, he actually was friends with Rob, who is a monger here at Venissimo, and they worked at Mr. A's together, which is a really nice French restaurant. And so he was like, oh, let's go check out Venissimo. My friend works there. And so we went there, and I really remember it smelling, which is funny because now when I go in, I can't
Not at all.
smell anything.
Right, nothing. People are like, it smells like cheese. Really?
Unless it's like something unusual, like new in the case, or something that a new smell that I've never smelled before. But I remember it being pretty cheesy smelling. And I remember being really shy. I was scared to like ask for a sample because I didn't really know how to say some of the cheeses.
Right.
So I was really a novelist. I mean, I always loved cheese growing up, but I had never really been exposed to just a cheese shop. I always, got my cheese at the grocery store.
The horror.
So it was really exciting and fascinating, but at the same time, it was pretty intimidating. I'm not going to lie, which I think having that experience actually is what makes me so compassionate to new customers that come in to our shop even now. Because I was in their shoes at one time.
Right,
and
good.
Look where I am now, a champion.
She is, and she should be holding the trophy above her head. We'll make her do that before we go.
So I applied. I filled out. You guys used to have like a little application. Right. I don't even think I had like a real resume at the time. And I remember one of the questions was like, so I had been buying some cheese at the time. I'd always get like 3/4 pounds of cheese. And one of my favorites was Midnight Moon was one of the repeat buying cheeses that I would get. And Roaring 40s. That
Blue
was
cheese.
like my first introduction to like a real blue that wasn't in a tub that was crumbly. So I had kind of gotten to know a little bit about some of the cheeses, and I still was like totally fascinated by it, and I love cheese. I think I eat a little bit of cheese every day. And
not sick of it?
Not sick of it.
Excellent. No. And as I recall, you still love Midnight Moon.
I still love Midnight Moon,
Her title is manager and Mad Hatter under the Midnight Moon.
Because that's my love.
Yes.
Everybody always, that like the number one question we get is, what's your favorite cheese? Which is like,
your favorite child.
That, and for those who don't know, my deep dark secret, which is that I'm a brother. People are like people. They are come in different sizes, shapes, colors, and some are smellier than others. And so I don't know if that's like what put me over the top to get the job or not, but I like to think that.
I'm going to say yes, that it was. And I can tell you that we still have that piece of paper. Oh. So perhaps we'll have to post the interview answers.
Oh, no.
But no, super well done, Jess. Super well done. What would you say then? You know, you've been there so many years and now, you know, managing the shop. Have you seen a difference in the people coming in, or what do you think in that time that you've been there? 7.7 years.
It's still surprising, not surprising, but we still get new people every day, which is maybe that part of it is because San Diego is part like a transient city. Sometimes I feel like with people moving, there's a lot of schools, there's military. I don't know. I feel like people kind of, I rarely meet true San Diego natives. And when I do, I'm always like, ooh, like a little unicorn. So maybe that's why we still get new people. We're also kind of like a hidden gem in Mission Hills. It's easy to miss, but when you find it, it's very magical.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. I don't know if you were there the day, Jess. One lady had come in, bought a bunch of cheese, and she stood, it was like a Saturday, busy, you know, and she says, looks at us, and she goes, you guys should sue Disneyland because this is the happiest place on earth. And I totally remember that saying, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, right? And isn't it kind of fun when people come in and be all happy?
Or my favorite is when people are like, I could never work here. I would be £1 million. I'm like, okay.
But I work here and I eat it every day.
Or they say, I would love to be locked in the shop. And then I go, oh, no, you don't, because that actually did happen to me.
It did happen. Very bad. Very bad and
you
sad.
start to miss your family. No, it wasn't that long. It was like
a week or so, right?
No, it was like an hour. But they always say that. And I'm like, actually, that did happen to me.
That's a good one. Good story. Oh, Jess. So what's your favorite part about then being in the shop and working in the shop? Best part?
My favorite part is, I have a couple favorite parts. Wednesdays are a very exciting day for me. That's when we get our biggest shipment usually. And so I don't think I have OCD, but I kind of like
perhaps a smidge.
Maybe a smidge. I like unpacking all the stuff and like kind of resetting the case, and like it's like, to me it's like the perfect day of the week. Actually, recently I had a day off, or no, it was the Women's March, or no, it was the day without a woman. They were like saying for people to not come into work or whatever, and it happened to fall on a Wednesday. I mean, I did go to work, but I supported by my own way by wearing red and wearing the button that I purchased. But I remember talking about it like, oh, but that's a Wednesday, and that's my favorite day of the week.
I miss the cheese delivery. Yeah. I'd be like missing Christmas.
Yeah, I love resetting the case. And Jeff, who was the delivery guy that day, he was like the awesomest delivery person ever. Yeah. He truly is the best.
Right. Oh, that's so good.
And then I love interacting with the customers.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I know what it's like to be in their shoes. So I really like introducing them to the cheeses, or trying to kind of like figure out. We're kind of like detectives a little bit. Like we're trying to figure out what they like, or what's good for them today, because it might be different later. I don't know. Hannah, who is one of our other mongers, she once said this saying that I absolutely love, and I say it from time to time in the shop to customers who are feeling a little like, I don't know if I like that, or so she said one time that there's a cheese for every person, but not every cheese is for every person.
That's true, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
So if you don't like something, that's okay. We're gonna keep helping you find.
Not gonna bite your head off. Yeah, not gonna kick you out.
Yeah, there is something in here that you will like, and we will find it.
Because we will lock the doors, and you won't get to leave without getting. No.
And I also really love the regulars. The regulars are what, like, not to. I mean, Mission Hills is my favorite shop.
It's the baby, right?
I'm sorry. I love all the shops, but
I love you all,
I feel like we have a lot of regulars. I like the like neighborhood
Yeah.
feel, and because I love that interaction and like getting to know you, getting to know your taste, getting to know what you like. I mean, we have there are times when we get cheeses in, and we have a like a little list that we keep track of um, cheeses that people are waiting to get called back on if we get it
Sure,
in.
like requests.
But sometimes there's regulars that come in and they're not on the list, but we're like, oh, when so and so comes in, like let them know we got, you know,
Right,
this
like
cheese
the
back in.
secret stash for
They
them.
love that cheese. So that kind of
It's nice, right?
feeling of building this relationship of revolved around your taste and flavor profiles
Right.
is kind of exciting and fun, and it just
It's comforting,
it goes,
right?
yeah. It's a little deeper than just I'm gonna sell you a piece of cheese.
Yeah.
And
No, it's so much more, right?
yeah,
So much more.
much more.
It is, Jess. So we know your favorite part. There's got to be something that's just like a pet peeve or least favorite.
Okay, everybody, turn up the volume.
And listen very carefully.
My pet peeve is when people take the sample
I know where you're going.
and they put either the spoon or the toothpick back onto the sampling plate, even though we have multiple trash cans. And
Labeled as such.
labeled
Yeah.
as such, one next to the tasting board and one like on the ground too. And actually the person, my ex-boyfriend, who I'm still friendly with, the one who introduced me to
Yeah.
Benismo, he
I
came
need to
in.
thank him. Yeah.
He came in one time and he did that. And since we have like, you know, there's no, I can't offend him, I guess, what I'm saying is, I said, wait 1 second, I need to ask you a question. This is very important. And he's like, what? And I was like, I need to know what was going on in your head as you put that toothpick that you just put in your mouth back onto the board. And he was like, I don't know. I didn't even think about it. But that's
okay, so that's the one.
So guys, if you come in, you take a sample off the board. It's pretty sanitary to just put it in the trash.
Yes.
But if you don't, we won't make a big deal about it. We just, you know, take the board down and wash everything.
Yes, exactly, to take care of them. No, that's a very, very good tip. Don't be scared of anything else, but be scared if you put that toothpick back on the, the tasting board.
You gotta be clean.
Yeah, got to be clean. That's awesome.
Half of the job of being a cheesemonger is being tidy.
Yeah, isn't it truth? We learn from cheesemakers, 90% of the time it's cleaning. And it's really true. Yeah, but that's all good.
Yeah.
So, Jess, I mean, obviously then you're around cheese all day. You unwrap it. You see it come in. You taste it right when it's unwrapped. You're dealing with it every day, so you're going to learn all about it. You smell like cheese. You go home, you have cheese. You sometimes have cheese bits in your hair. You have Sharpies in your pocket.
All the time.
Yeah, understood. And then through all those years, of course, you're gaining that cheese knowledge. So then what made you take that step? To give you guys a little bit of a background, for about 3 years now, right? The Cheesemonger Invitational, it's called, kind of to seeks out the best cheesemonger in the USA. And they do a competition on the East Coast and the West Coast. And then you just literally crowned the best cheesemaker. And then that cheesemaker gets to go to France, where they do an international competition, and then represent the U.S. So this is getting really big in the world.
I don't know about that. I mean,
somebody can. One of the winners
will.
They
do pick a lot of the winners, but I don't know if that's like officially if I will be picked for. I mean, I would love to be picked for that one day. Thank you.
Are we listening out there? Choose Jessica to represent. So, you know, it's a big deal to know all about the cheeses. So, of course, being around it helps you know about it. But what made you think, hey, I'm going to take this leap and I'm going to enter this competition? What made you take that leap?
It's
and then we're going to go through how
like
you...
a push rather than a leap. But
sometimes it's good to be pushed.
Well, actually, maybe like a year and a half ago, I started wanting to be the best monger that I could be. I wanted to elevate my connection to this cheese industry outside of just the shop, outside of Mission Hills. On like a bigger scale. So I was actually inspired by some of the trips that we had gone on as managers. So we had done some of the Marin Trail in the Bay, up north of the Bay Area. And then we did the Wisconsin tour with the Milk Marketing Board, which was amazing. And then I was just like, yeah, I want to be out there. I want to like gather this information. I want to like know as much as possible, because also like sometimes there can be quite a bit of turnover in this industry. And so the more information and knowledge I can get my hands on, then the better mongers that I can help develop too.
Sure.
And vice versa. I have a really great team right now. They're all really nerdy. So we share with each other. So at this point, the team that I have is really awesome because they get stuff and then they share it with me too. It's not it's like symbiotic relationship.
Right. You're learning every day from each other.
From each other.
It's perfect.
But I also just wanted to be out there on a bigger level with like connecting with the people in the cheese industry. So then I applied for the cheese camp. I remember I wrote you and I was like, hey, I'm going to like apply for this. I probably won't get it.
Won't get it.
If I do like, could you?
Yeah. And this is a cheese camp, everybody, in Vermont. They're very well known for cheeses. And there's the caves of the Jasper Hill, the farm at Jasper Hill there has a huge program to help develop cheese makers, mongers, just, you know, to really promote the beauty of cheese and everything about it.
Yeah. And it's pretty
prestigious. Yeah.
Prestigious. It's pretty intense. Like, it's like going to school.
Yeah.
And I got in, and so that was one of the first things I started doing. And then
this is lesson number one, though. I'm going to say it. Here's the first time. Just doing it got you in. You did it, and you got in. Do it. Yeah, it was really good for you. That was really great.
I feel like that's been the trend the whole time.
Yeah.
Just apply and see what happens. And so I did that, and that was really informative, like really amazing. I actually met a couple. I met a lot of people there, and some fellow CMI competitors that were part of my cheese camp.
Did you already pull information from them and little tips on what to do?
I mean, we shared. We talked about like little things, like what paper they were using and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What it was like. But I feel like you don't really get a feel for it until you're there.
And you get there, it's craziness, right?
So then we were doing that, and then me and Jonathan were doing this curtication thing. We kind of have worked together to bring cheesemakers or cheese reps from those cheesemakers in quarterly to Venissimo to do like staff training.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like I was kind of climbing this mountain. And then my next step, I told Jonathan, who's my rep from Aniata, by the way, I said, hey, I really want to volunteer at CMI. Can you help me get in?
That's a good way.
He's like, sure. Like I can see like, I can probably get you in. And I was like, yeah, I want to help out. I want to see what it's like. And then so this is all during the holiday season. It's
which
crazy.
is madhouse, right?
It's hard to think about like taking on such a big task during like when I'm just like, I just want to
keep afloat.
Yeah, I'm just like, trying to water right here, man. And so he kept saying, well, I really think someone from Venissimo should enter the competition. And so I was trying to talk one of our mongers into doing it. She was trying to talk me into doing it.
Did you draw straws? No,
we didn't draw straws. She said, you've been here longer, so you need to do it first. And so I literally signed up the last day that you could sign up because Jonathan was like, really, somebody needs to do it. And actually, Mr. Moo himself, Adam, I think Jonathan called for backup, and he sent me an email.
Like, you've got to do
like,
this.
Yeah, just
jump in.
Do it.
Just say yes. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Okay. And so then I just did it.
Yeah. And that was in the holiday season, and then you go
December 14th.
December 14th is the cutoff.
I think that was the day that I signed up, or whatever the last day was.
That's wild, because the competition's in January, right? So it's not a lot of prep time.
No, and I honestly don't even think I really prepped much until after the holidays. So
when you just want to sleep, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
But you prepped, and I know part of your prep involved flashcards, right? I mean, you really went into this, right? Yeah, this wasn't just, I know enough, let me go wing it. No, you did the flashcards.
I kept saying like, oh, I want to volunteer, and then next year I'll do it, because when I enter, I want to win. I kept telling everyone, I want to win.
Right.
And then I got talked into entering, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just go and see how it is, and then
next year.
But I really kind of have this competitive side, I guess.
Does that come from your
not competitive? Yeah. It's not even. I don't want to say it's competitive. Actually, I just have a work ethic. I just always want to do the best that I could do.
That's awesome.
I've always been like that, even in school. Like, I wasn't always the smartest kid, but I was the hardest working kid.
It's awesome.
And I think
Makes a
that
difference.
it's not competitiveness at all, actually. It's me just wanting to do a good job for me.
Yeah. Sense of pride. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So
okay.
I have lots and lots of flashcards. I had the Oxford cheese book had just come out, so I did a lot of stuff from that.
Truly the encyclopedia of cheese, right?
I'm in a lot of CCP like study groups, even though I haven't taken CCP yet. I was kind of studying that stuff because I didn't know what they're going to test us on. So I was like, I'm just going to study everything.
I'm going to read it all. I'll read end to end. I'll read the dictionary.
In a month.
Yeah, and you did. Because that's the thing. It's not just, it's a test of knowledge, of course. And that knowledge delves into like the science of cheese as well, right, Jess? Not just
Science,
the knowledge
history,
of...
all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. So a written test.
Makeup of the milk.
Yeah.
What this process is called.
Right. And you're talking about it, something that's quite complicated, but you need to learn that. So there's that written test. What are the other portions of the competition?
So it starts with a written test. Then we did a blind taste test. So they give you a plate of cheese with, and then like a sheet to fill out and some questions regarding the cheeses that are on the plate. And then, which was all of it was challenging. None of it was like a walk in the park kind of thing. And then we did an aroma test. That was funny.
Were you blindfolded?
We
like,
were,
was it
they're in like a little cup type thing.
Yeah.
But they're all laid out on a table, and so we're all like gathering around the table, and I don't know, we just looked like crazy little ants, like on a
scurrying around.
Yeah, because for me, my technique was to always answer all the questions that I was really confident about, and then go back to revisit the stuff that I was.
Oh, that's a good tip.
And then finish with the stuff I was truly like
struggling. Take a guess. Take a guess.
An educated guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. All right.
And I took the whole time for that aroma test. There was, I think I remember like 3 that were really challenging.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
That really got you. And this is a whole day affair, right? You're talking this.
Yeah. Started at 10, and I think I left the venue at like 9 p.m.
Serious business, this cheesemongering, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, wasn't there also kind of like the cutting wrapping portion of the competition?
Which my hands were shaking so bad. So we get in line, they set up like a little assembly line kind of thing. And so you do your cuts.
Yeah.
Which I think I was the one that started this. There became like an inside joke of like, cut, wrap. And I was like, so is it cut, wrap, and then wrap? And then so everyone's getting confused, and Adam was being really funny, and he was like, so you're going to cut, wrap. So basically you cut 2 pieces of cheese, then you move to your next station, and you're going to wrap both of those pieces of cheese.
Which needed to be a specific weight, right? Because when you're a monger, you're cutting it at a specific weight, correct?
You had to cut as close to the goal is quarter-pound pieces. But I just remember that being like like something that kept going. So I was like, is it cut, wrap? And it's like, no, it's cut, wrap.
Okay, we got it. That'll stick in your head.
And then the last station, you wrap like a plastic wrap for like display. You wrap like a big piece of cheese.
Okay.
But you only get 30 seconds, which I think before going in, I was like, oh, okay, 30 seconds.
That's a long time.
But then when your hands are shaking and
you drop something,
and it's not your normal workstation that you're used to every day, it is really challenging, actually. And the paper, we have our own paper that we get from Maniata, but Formatica, which is an awesome paper, cheese paper company. I'm not used to that.
Sure, it's a different feel, different thickness.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you did this.
And I think for the wrap part, we were using like their new paper that someone told me it was like, I don't know. It was like their environmental friendly
Interesting.
paper.
And you're like, what is this?
It was really, really thin. And I remember I picked up the paper, and when I went to pick it up, like 5 pieces like came up, and I was like, oh my gosh,
no, I'm going to ruin this.
So you can make mistakes and still win,
and
guys.
still win. And still win, may I say, by a good margin. Can we brag just a little bit about that, Jess? Or do we need to go back to...
That's what I heard. I don't know. I actually, I think...
She did very well. We know somebody that's been to a number of these competitions as a judge, tallying up all the results. And all this preparation, 7 years of practice, reading a dictionary of cheese from end to end, flashcards, studying, preparing, smelling, practicing, cutting boards, making cheese all day long for every day, pays dividends. And that's what it did. Tell us about that minute, when they're counting down, the winners, like here's third place, here's second place.
I remember my aunt came with me to San Francisco, and she was going to come. They opened it up to the public around 5 p.m. And so she's coming, and I was like, okay, like now I can relax a little bit, and it's like more like a party then. It's really fun. And
how many people were you against approximately?
No, I think they say like 30.
Okay, somewhere around there.
Sign up, but then a few always drop out, is what Adam said.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of the people next to me, who was supposed to be next to me, he dropped out the day of. I heard a family emergency, which is really terrible. But
yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what the official number was. I think like 34, 35 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember like having like a sense of relief or whatever, and then they were going to announce like some individual winners, and the first individual winner that they announced were the perfect pairing, which is a beverage pairing with the cheese that you were assigned. Yeah. And I was the winner. Called my name, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, and my aunt was crying.
Oh, that's so good.
And so I was shocked and so happy with just that I was like over the moon. And then they announced all the other winners too, and I'm sorry I don't remember them because I was still like, what's happening? Right,
I won the pairing. Yeah, that's so good.
And so then they're going to start announcing the top 6. Yeah. And with the top 6, I was like, okay, like I might get 6 since I won like
the pairing. Yeah, exactly.
And so they do 6, they do 5, they do 4, and then I kind of was like, okay, I'm happy with my experience. I'm totally happy with what I've won.
Sure, proud of yourself. You had done it. Yeah,
amazing experience. Done. Close the book.
Let's go party.
Then they say number 1, and it was me, and I was like, I kept cursing under my breath, and I just kept saying, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, you did.
And then we do more competition, So then I had to like, okay. And I'm a shy person when you first meet me. I do have like a exuberant side, but
yes, I heard it came out in a rap. You did a little acceptance speech.
I don't know if everybody knew my reference to, because CMI started on the East Coast, and the DJ who I was like talking to a lot on the stage, he was telling me how him and Adam are great friends and all this stuff. And so I'm a huge Notorious B-R-I-E, Notorious Brie fan. And so I was trying to pay like tribute to New York. And when I first went up there, I said it was all a dream. I used to read Culture magazine and Mr. Moo all up in the limousine, which is the beginning, a take on the beginning lines of Juicy from Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah. Too good, Jess.
Which is one of my favorite rap songs.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So what's next? What do you see next in the growth of being the cheese?
Well, I get to go to Neal's Yard Dairy.
Oh my gosh, England, all the way to England.
Experience with them, and hopefully I'll get to add on some visits to that trip while I'm there. I'm hoping to attend ACS.
Yes, which is the American Cheese Society, by the way.
So I applied for some type of scholarship thing with that. So hopefully...
Hey, you're on a roll. Everything you've applied for, done. Let's keep that ball rolling.
Yeah. So that would be really amazing to go to, because I think it's the closest it's been to San Diego, at least in the time that I've known about ACS.
Great opportunity,
And you're from Colorado.
I'm from Colorado. It's in Colorado this year. I mean, what's not to love?
To it.
That's right. This is meant to be. Meant to be.
Yeah. And then CCP.
CCP, which is Certified Cheese Professional.
Yes, but
kind of like a sommelier of cheese. You could kind of call it that, right?
Yes, and in fact, when I was walking through the airport with this trophy, everyone kept saying, like, what is this? What is this? And then I'd be like, Cheesemonger Invitational. I won this trophy. And they'd be like, what's a cheesemonger? And for most people, I was like, oh, basically like a sommelier of wine, but for cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
It's a good explanation, a
Yeah.
quick explanation when you're walking through the airport.
That's really great, Jess. Really great. And I know one thing you really love that you do at Venissimo just so well is trays, and you really love development of trays and such. And that kind of helped spur your launch of. Tell us a little bit about Molder, Monger, and Milk. Monger, mold, and milk.
I know it's a tongue twister,
but I like it.
But I like it. Or triple M, for short. So Monger, Mold, and Milk is like my Instagram handle, which is kind of a tribute to not just, it's cheese focused, but it's also like just any food things that I experience on my cheese travels.
Yes.
So you can follow me there.
It's beautiful too. It's drool-worthy stuff. Yeah.
And also developing a website, which it's active, but like I wrote on one of my first posts on the website, I'm not a web developer. I'm a cheesemonger, so bear with me. But
Yes.
You could also visit that website. You could sign up to subscribe to that website as well.
Yeah.
And I just want it to be like a community of like sharing information and interacting with cheese lovers across the world.
Sure.
So that's kind of my new outlook on the cheese industry. So I just signed up for the California Cheese Guild while I was up there this past weekend, and I just was telling them, the more you give, the more you get back. So I want to give and share what I experience and learn, and then hopefully other people will interact with that and give and share with me too.
As you do. And I think we've already seen that. That's just awesome, Jess, with everything.
My
really
goal,
great.
though, is to get like a cheese festival down here. So I went to the
She's going to do this.
California Artisan Cheese Festival, and I signed up for the California Cheese Guild. And I was telling them one of my goals is to like have something just as awesome that's up there, something down here.
Wouldn't that be just fabulous?
Yeah, and with the beer scene, and you know, we've got good wine, just
definitely
north of
north
us.
and south of us. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
So I think that would be one of my bigger goals that I would like to accomplish.
To work for.
Yeah.
That's really great because there are so many great cheesemakers. You know, they're up north naturally. The animals are up there. You've got the climate for it up there. Yeah. But we've got a lot of cheese lovers down south.
Exactly.
So that'd be really, really good.
Cheese and friends, it could be beyond just cheese. It could be cheese and beer and wine and jams and bread. We've got so many
bread makers, bakers
down here.
Yeah, really awesome.
So I'm really excited.
Okay, well then I think that's something that we could look forward to in the next few years. Perhaps a cheese festival, great
with
cheese festival
help,
here. Yes, we'll all work together because again, when we all work together with people, again too, like specialty produce here, we're on the Specialty Produce Network, to work together to make something like that happen, then it can really happen. That's really great.
For sure.
So before we go, Jess, tell us what's new in the case at Mission Hills in case somebody's dying for something spectacular and delicious.
Okay,
what do we got?
We literally just got this in this past weekend. It's I don't know if you guys can see it. It's Sweet Grass Dairies Green Hill. It's their take on a camembert style, but it's a double cream, and it's really ultra buttery. It's Jersey milk, mostly Jersey milk. I think they have a mix of cows actually, mostly Jersey milk. But they do this thing called New Zealand rotational grazing. So what that does is they rotate the cows as they're grazing so that they can replenish the grass, so that they're always eating the freshest, greenest grass. And it's really interesting because this is actually from. Oh, now I forgot.
The dairy.
I'm sorry, it's really new.
Sweetgrass.
Yeah.
Georgia?
Georgia. It's from Georgia. And so the interesting thing about that is that because of the climate and weather there, they can allow their cows to be barn-free 600
days of the year.
365 days of the year. So that's really awesome. So they're always, eating that rotational
that great grass.
And
comes through in the taste of the cheese, right? Makes a huge difference.
And then if you were to cut into this paste, it's like bright yellow, which is a sign of a lot of beta carotene, which comes from the grass. And
so
also
good
really
for you.
Yeah.
All good.
So I encourage you to come to Mission Hills and try it. We've got about 6 wheels.
That's it. That's not very much. So hurry on
Great
in.
with berries, champagne, or drizzle some honey and then smother it on a
Yeah.
toasty baguette.
That's perfect. 'Tis
Yeah.
the season, right? A little
Yes.
bottle of rosé and good to go.
So good.
Yeah. So good. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank
Did
you.
you see, I got to share one thing that I saw in the news because I know you're a music fan too. Did you see that sculpture of the Beyonce?
Yes, a friend sent it to me, Alexis, who also was one of my managers at Benissimo.
She did?
She sent that to me.
Everybody's got to jump online. I can't get it big enough to show. But someone in England carved a hunk of cheddar into the shape of the pregnant Beyonce, named it a Beyonce. I think that's just wild. This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But super fun.
Yeah. But we've done
Yeah.
Beyonce and J Cheese.
You've had J Cheese. You've had lots of them.
Yeah. If you like it, then you better put some cheese on it. If you like it, then you better
Put some cheese on it. If you
If
like it,
then
and
you
you better put some
cheese
on it. Good. On that note, we're going to say thank you all for listening. See you next week, noon on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.